So because the video with the explanation of subtracting with negative integers went longer than expected, this video is just one that deals with practice problems involving subtracting with negative integers. So very quickly, let's take a look back at what subtracting with negative integers really means, or subtracting with any integers. When you subtract integers, you add the opposite of the number being subtracted. So for 25 minus 37, that means we have 25 plus negative 37. Remembering how to add integers that have opposite signs. If not, go ahead back and look at the lesson for adding with negative integers. You have 25 plus negative 37 is equal to negative 12. Now, if we look at 25 minus negative 37, we're going to add the opposite of the number, but the opposite of a negative number is a positive. So what we have is 25 plus 37, which gives us 62. And those three letters that we really needed to remember were KCC, keep, change, change. That's keep that first number, change the sign from subtraction to addition, and change the sign for number 2. Now let's take those three ideas and look at these four problems, which each involve four different types of subtracting with positive and negative integers. So go ahead and pause the video, see what you can do with these four problems, remembering that KCC, keep, change, change, or add the opposite is the way that we subtract integers, and see what you can do with number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Well, if we take a look at number 1, we start off with the idea for keep, change, change. And keep means, and I'll write KCC down the side, keep means keep the negative 22. So we have negative 22. Change the sign, and change the sign of the final number. Now 15 is a positive number, even though we're subtracting it, so it's negative 22 plus negative 15. What that means is now negative 22 plus negative 15 is just the negative version of 22 plus 15. So this is negative 37. Refer back to the rules on adding integers if you're not sure how we got that. For number 2, 27 minus 17 is a very familiar problem, but let's take a look at it specifically from the examples of KCC and see why it's exactly the same as what we're used to with subtracting positive integers. 27 minus 17. So keep the 27, change the sign, and change the second number to be the opposite sign. 27 plus negative 17. And now, if you remember how to do that, we subtract the absolute values. 27 minus 17 is 10. And we keep the sign of the greater absolute value. 27 has a greater absolute value than negative 17. So the sign is the same as 27's, which it is positive. For number 3, negative 40 minus negative 55, again, keeping always in mind that add the opposite, or keep, change, change. We keep the first number at negative 40. We change the operation from from subtraction to addition, and we change the sign of the second number. In this case, negative 55 is negative, so we are going to add a positive 55. When we do that, again, adding integers of two different signs, we actually subtract the absolute values. 55 minus 40 is 15, and 55 has the greater absolute value, so it is a positive 15. And finally, 42 minus negative 17 with keep, change, change. In this case, we're going to use add the opposite. 42 stays there. Going to add the opposite of negative 17, which is a positive 17, just when talking about add the opposite rather than keep, change, change. And 42 plus 17 is 59. So there you have it, practice problems and the rules and the breakdown for subtracting when you use negative integers.